Hello, divine souls. Hello. Welcome to the video. Hi. So, okay, the piece I'm bringing today, the piece or the topic or a discussion that I want to open up is this. How can we come to a place where we don't feel a need to fill the space, to fill the emptiness, to fill the nothingness? How can we just enjoy it? And the reason I'm speaking into this is because recently I put a poll up on my Instagram story asking my community, is this something that you do? Do you tend to play busy, so to speak? And now again, I want to come from this, or I want to bring this as well. Yes, in today's society, we are busy. We lead busy lives, and that's okay. But I feel like we've grown accustomed to living a busy life that when it comes to actual relaxation and it comes to us taking a break, we actually don't allow ourselves to rest because we feel like we need to be doing more. We feel like we're not doing enough. So it's like this constant battle in our mind of what more can I do, when in actual fact there's nothing more you need to do. But you feel so uncomfortable with being in your own presence, being in your own body, being with your own thoughts, that this actually turns into a coping mechanism. This turns into avoiding feeling. And why I feel the need to speak to this is because this is what I myself personally have been moving through. And I want to share some of my takeaways. I want to share how I have come to this realization. So recently, I discovered that when I start to feel uncomfortable emotions or big energy arise in my body, as a way of suppressing it and shutting it down and avoiding it and running in the opposite direction, I start to fill time and space and the nothingness of just being with all of this doing. Even if it's things that I don't even need to do, I just create the doing because I feel like it's uncomfortable to just be. Because if I just be, I am forced to feel the energy, the emotions that are arising within my body. And I realized this when I started to just scroll, numb out. This is one thing we do. It's a form of escapism. Like I said before, it's us avoiding feeling. It's us remaining or trying our hardest to remain where it is comfortable. And you may have heard me speak to this before. In order to grow, we got to lean in to all that is uncomfortable. We have to lean in to the discomfort. How can we embrace the uncomfortability of these big emotions? Because this, I found, is also where I overstep the boundaries that I've created for myself. I play busy because I don't want to feel, which also falls into the category of self-sabotage. So if you are not used to, quote unquote, feeling joy and abundance and liberation, and you're swirling in prosperity and happiness, right? Your body is like, but I haven't had a hit of like chaos for a while, so can we create that? And then sure enough, the mind's like, yeah, here, let's fish for the chaos. Let's create that. Let's generate the chaos. Boom, there it is. And then we're left like, oh my God, this is too much. It's too much. I'm not loving it. No, 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 no. So first we avoid the feeling. We escape. We avoid being and sitting with ourselves in pure presence. And what this looks like for me is avoiding my practices. I have the tools. But if I start to realize that, oh, something uncomfortable is arising, I don't want to sit with that. I'll avoid doing my daily breath work, or I'll avoid exercising, or I'll avoid whatever I know it is that's going to bring that emotion to the surface. But here's the thing, beautiful beings. Here is the freaking thing with that. Until we sit with it, until we acknowledge that it's there, it is not going away. It's just going to get louder and louder and louder until it's like, you better feel me, because if you don't, I'm going to create some shit in your body. And that's exactly what has been happening with me. I have been experiencing intense physical pain in various parts of my body. And what's insane is when I go and I breathe and I do a breath work or I meditate, that physical pain is like, oh yeah, this hurts. Like, it's physically painful, that I will be so focused on that pain that is present, that's the very thing that unlocks the emotion that needs to be released. So coming full circle with that, when you refuse to feel and understand that our emotions are stored in our body, and I know I harp on about this, but it's so important, it's so vital for us to understand. Our emotions, our unmet needs, our unmet desires, we store that shit so deep within our being that until we clear that out, you may start to notice physical symptoms, physical pain that you may be experiencing. And remember that stress, 90% of stress is the cause, or stress is 90% the cause of all illness and disease. 90%. Oh. So it is so important that even though we feel uncomfortable, and even though the ego will try everything to talk us out of leaning into the unknown, of leaning into the discomfort, the ego will tell us, oh, but it's safe here. This is familiar. We love it. But this familiar is also the very thing that is holding us back, that is creating more of the thing that we're trying to escape from, or run from, or avoid. But we have to face it, we have to acknowledge it, because otherwise that shadow is going to continue to chase us. Because that emotion wants to be felt. That is why these things come up, and we just get really good at going, not now, it's inconvenient, and we push it down and we push it down and we push it down. But then, because that's not processed, the next emotion comes along, and then we're like, oh, so inconvenient, push. So now there's like two build-ups, and then the next emotion comes along, or some other crazy situation happens that's really not that crazy, and then we're like, I really want to explode, but nah, so inconvenient, push it down. And we just keep pushing and pushing and pushing until all these unmet emotions and unfelt feelings are all stacked up. And then what happens, and I know you have experienced this because you're human, we fucking erupt. We erupt like we are literally a volcano, because we've just been building and building and suppressing. So we're building and building and building and building, and it can be over the most minuscule thing. What's also happening in the process of us suppressing is these emotional cycles are not coming full circle. They're not being processed. Therefore, this is causing dysfunction in the body. This is causing us to, our nervous system to be dysregulated. So we could just snap like that. We have no awareness of emotional regulation, because we are just like too hard to feel, too hard to feel, too hard to feel. And it's not like it gets any easier to feel. We're always going to be faced with these challenges, faced with these struggles. But what we get good at is acknowledging it and feeling it and transmuting it and shifting it. And through the breath and through meditation and through these healing modalities, we're able to regulate, self-regulate our emotions. So instead of suppressing and avoiding and filling the nothingness and filling the space, we're able to be with ourselves. We're able to feel comfortable to be in our own mind, to experience our own thoughts. More being. We are human beings, not human doings. So the fact that we feel so uncomfortable with being, we have to get better at accepting ourselves in the nothingness, in the silence. Because not only is that when we may feel discomfort, when we actually sit and we feel through the things that we need to move through and feel through, then we gain insight, we gain clarity, we start to have downloads, which is connecting to source, connecting to our higher self, to really understand ourselves on a deeper level and cultivate this deep self-connection with our inner wisdom, our inner knowing. And that's when we start to uncover all of the answers through peeling back the layers. It is through the silence. It is through the nothingness and just allowing ourselves to be in that. Another point a beautiful woman in my community made was that often we will look for a story to attach the emotion to. And this is a practice in itself, is yes, potentially something happened or you had a certain experience that made you feel a type of way. But when we start to just randomly feel this energy move through, we look for that story again to attach to that emotion and to pin it and be like, pin, this is why I'm feeling this way. Instead of just going, oh wow, I feel an overwhelming sense of grief or sadness in my body. Like, let me just feel that. I get to feel this energy. It might be uncomfortable as shit, but I'm about to feel it. I'm about to feel it because it's just here. If the story's there, that's okay, but do your best to really let that go and just feel the sensations and feel the energy that is there present in your body. Maybe for no particular reason at all. Really just practicing that art of non-attachment to the story, and just allowing the feeling to flow. And that's the thing. It's following the feeling. We have to allow ourselves to just follow the feeling. What does it feel like in your body? How does it want to be expressed and transmuted and liberated and shifted? How can you be in the nothingness? How can you embrace the silence versus avoid it? This is a piece that I really wanted to bring today, and I hope and I trust that it has landed with all those that it was meant to. Short, sweet, to the point. I really just wanted to allow that to riff and flow through, and I would love to hear your takeaways. I would love to hear what hit home, what resonated. Comment below, and if you are not yet, I would love for you to follow and support my channel. More videos and insights coming just like this. Hit that bell button, hit that subscribe button so you never ever miss a beat. And if you want to know anything more or find out any other information of how you can connect with me, how you can follow me, how you can work with me, it's all in the description below, beautiful beings. Have a wonderful rest of your day, morning, night, whatever time it is when you're watching this. Sending big, big love and healing to you, and I'll see you in the next video. Big love.